Hi folks, this is all the fruit, and here I have some nice summer apples. I am on my farm. In this particular orchard I have at least 10 different apple varieties, and most of them, they seem to be ripe in September. But if you want them really sweet and tasty, you have to wait till the last weeks of October or even the first weeks of November. That's quite late in the year to start eating apples. So here is one variety which is quite popular in Germany, the Weißer Klarapfel, or literally translated white clear apple. They look kind of unripe now until you start looking at them more closely, and a lot of them have been already eaten by birds. That's because a lot of them are already perfectly ripe. Not all of them, they don't ripen all at the same time. But most of them, you can already see there are some on the ground. A lot are being eaten by birds on the tree. This one looks really nice and ripe. Well, here you can see the color is a very pale yellow. That's why they called it white. Well, if you compare it with this one, which is even more pale, I would say this one is not completely ripe, but this one, yeah, this looks perfect. Good that I found it before the birds. Look, here they have eaten more of those apples. Yeah, well, apples are basically the most popular fruit in temperate areas because you can store them forever. You can store them for up to a year. This Weißer Klarapfel, this very early summer apple, now we have the middle of July, so it's more than 3 months before the other apples will be ripe. Yeah, perfectly ripe. Not very sweet, not very sour. A more or less mild apple. Mild but still tasty. Pretty soft apple, as you can see. It's not hard to crush it with my finger. That's maybe the reason why you don't see them in German supermarkets. They're hard to transport. But funny enough, if you are very careful with the harvest and transport, they have a very extended shelf life. Once my mother picked some of those apples in late June, and the next year in May, no, I think she picked them in late July, and the next year in mid-May, they were still perfectly edible. They were not even in some moist basement or being treated in some special way. She just put them in some shade and left them there, and for almost 11 months they were good. I mean, at the 8th of May, at the end of May, I threw away a lot of them because they were rotten. The other ones did not have a perfect taste, typical taste of winter apples, but still, to manage to make summer apples into winter apples, and soft summer apples at that, it's actually a good thing. Yeah. Well, I think the Weißer Klarapfel is the typical summer apple around here. I've seen Roter Klarapfel, which is the same stuff with a few red stripes. In Bulgaria and also in other parts of the world we have even tastier summer apples. Well, this one is a pretty mild one, so we have some with some stronger, more aromatic, more acidic taste. I hope I'll manage to find those, because it's an interesting contrast. But for now, folks, stay tuned for a lot more fruit videos from the farms and orchards of Germany. And don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe.